I'm a consumer whore. Hey, it's Sue in the restricted section. Today I'm doing my March book haul, and I bought a shit ton of books because I went to a lot of thrift stores and bought a lot of used books. So let's get right into it. First up, I got Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. I got this from Amazon, and I already started reading it. This is about two guys, a journalist and his attorney, who go on just a drug-fueled adventure in Las Vegas. So far it's been really funny and I've been really liking it, so hopefully I like the whole thing. Next, from Book Depository, I got The Seer by Ali Smith. This is actually a play about a couple who are sort of everything in their life is very organized, they don't really rock the boat ever, and then the wife's sister comes to visit and she just completely turns their world upside down. I heard Jen Campbell talk about this book on her channel, and she made it sound really good, so I think I'm gonna like that one. Next, I got this from lulu.com, and it's Attitude to Gratitude by Teresa Murray. And this is a little collection of poems, and they're mostly about nature and family and friends and things like that. And the author, Teresa Murray, has Down syndrome, and so I really wanted to pick this up and see what I thought about it. I've read a couple of poems and they're really beautiful, I think. I'm not that well versed in poetry, but I enjoyed them. And I'll go ahead and put a link down below where you can find this if you're interested in getting it. Next, I bought a few books from Barnes & Noble. The first one is The Emperor of All Maladies by Siddhartha Mukherjee. I've heard about this book for a while. It won the Pulitzer Prize, and it's just about cancer, all about cancer. And then next I bought A Planet for Rent by Yoss. This is a sci-fi novel that's sort of also a dystopian sort of thing where basically humans have screwed themselves, and now all these other alien species just use our planet as like a tourist destination, and humans are just treated like dirt. And it's a critique of like fascist regimes, specifically Castro's rule in Cuba. The author is Cuban, and this book has been translated from Spanish. And I already read it, and I really liked it, and I will probably go ahead and do a full review of this one maybe next week or the week after. So look out for that. And then I got Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Suzanne. This is considered a classic, and it's about three young women in the entertainment industry in, I believe the 60s, maybe the 70s. And this is another one that I heard Jen Campbell talk about, and I just do whatever Jen Campbell says, so. And then lastly, from Barnes & Noble, I got Fairest by Marissa Meyer. This is the prequel to the Lunar Chronicles that talks about Queen Lavanna's backstory. Then next I got a few books from Book Outlet. Of course, I always buy books from Book Outlet. First I got The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. This is, as it says on the back, 18 startling visions of humankind's destiny unfolding across a canvas of decorated skin. Yeah, I read Fahrenheit 451 last year, and I really, really liked it, so I wanted to pick up some more Ray Bradbury and see if I liked that as well. Next I got The Possibilities by Cowie Hart Hemmings. This is about a couple whose 22-year-old son dies in an avalanche, and it's just about their grieving process, I think. To be honest, I partly got it just because I thought the cover was really beautiful, but it sounded like a good book too, so hopefully I'll actually like it. Next I got The Heart Does Not Grow Back by Fred Venturini. This is a book about a boy who finds out that he can regenerate his limbs and organs, and I think it starts when he's in high school and he's kind of a loser in high school, and then I think it jumps forward to as an adult, and he's sort of trying to save this girl that he had a connection with in high school from her abusive husband, and etc., etc. It just sounded like a really cool concept. So next I got God Help the Child by Toni Morrison. This book is about a little black girl who has very dark skin, and her mother has a lighter skin tone, which is considered more desirable, and it's kind of like her mother kind of treats her poorly because her skin is darker. So it's, I think, kind of about just how having a darker tone of skin really affected her life, even though her mother was black as well. It was just, you know, a lighter tone of black, if that makes sense. But yeah, just about how her skin color really affected her childhood and her life. Next I got The Wind and the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. This is a classic children's book. I haven't read it since I was a child, and I don't remember that much about it, so I saw this really beautiful edition on Book Outlet for quite cheap. So I thought I'd get it and hopefully reread it here pretty soon. And then last from Book Outlet, I got The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. This book is about a man who has schizophrenia, and he's sort of writing his memoir about his illness and about his brother who died in an accident when they were children. And I already read this book. We read it, Megan and I both read it for our book club, and we both loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was amazing. Megan actually did a full review of this, which I'll go ahead and link down in the description box. Okay, and then next is all of the books I got from thrift stores, various thrift stores, so they were all quite cheap. First I have The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but this book is set in Afghanistan, and I believe it's about a boy who, a wealthy boy who befriends the son of his, of one of their family's servants. And I don't know much about it other than that, but I think I'm like the last person on earth to read this book, so I've heard many amazing things about it. Then I also found 1,000 Splendid Suns by the same author. So I hope that I like his writing because I bought 2 books from him. But this one's also set in Afghanistan. I really don't know much more about it other than that. Then next I got Moby Dick by Herman Melville. This is, of course, a classic book about a man looking for a whale. And I always love classics. They're some of my favorites, so I thought I'd add that one to my collection. Next, I got the book Prey by Michael Crichton. In this book, an experiment goes wrong and these nanoparticles get released, and they sort of act as a whole and become this terrible predator. So it sounded really cool, and I've actually never read any Michael Crichton, so I thought I'd check that out. I actually have Jurassic Park on my shelf behind me that I need to read as well. Next I got The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. This is another classic children's book that I haven't read since I was probably 10 years old, and I remember really liking it then, so I wanted to reread it. Next I got The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I've heard lots of people talk about this book. It's also a movie. Haven't seen the movie. I really don't know much about it, but I've heard a lot of people say it's pretty great, so I thought I'd check it out. Next I got A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking, because why not make my brain explode? Sounds great. The next book I have is Snow Falling on Cedars by David Guterson. This is about a Japanese-American man who's accused of murder, and then I think it also kind of follows his wife, and she's remembering her childhood, and I think it has a little bit to do with World War II, and then there's, also the murder mystery in there, so. And then speaking of World War II, I also got Schindler's List by Thomas Keneally. This is about a man who was the director of a prison camp, but he saved a lot of Jews from the gas chamber. And I'm sure most of you have heard of the movie, at least, which is extremely critically acclaimed. I haven't seen it, but... And then, again, with the World War II, I got The Tin Drum by Günter Grass. This book is about a man who survives World War II and then ends up in a mental institution, and it says it's a profound yet hilarious perspective on both German history and the human condition in the modern world. And I'd kind of been on the lookout for this book anyway because I have The Rat by Günter Grass, and when I was looking up reviews of it, a lot of people said that you should read this one first because he references it in the other book. So I'd been wanting to find this, and I saw it at the thrift store for like $1, so I grabbed it. Next I have The Rules of Attraction by Bret Easton Ellis. This follows some students going to a liberal arts college. It says it's a poignant, hilarious take on the death of romance. Sounds delightful. Next I got Hard Times by Charles Dickens, another classic to add to my collection. I really have no idea what this book is about, but we'll see. And then lastly, very last book, I got The Vagabond by Colette. This is translated from French, and it is supposedly one of the first and best feminist novels ever written. So that's a lot to live up to. It's about a divorcee who's just trying to get by on her own, and then I think a man comes along and just fucks it all up for her. So I'm kind of excited. I'm pretty excited about this one. I think I'll probably read it pretty soon. Alright, so that's all. That's all of the books that I bought this month. Actually, that's a lie. I bought another one, but it hasn't come in the mail yet because Book Depository is slow as hell. But yeah, I hope you guys liked seeing all the shit I shouldn't have bought this month. And if you did, please like, subscribe, etc. I'll put some information down below where you can find Megan and I other places online. And you can look forward to Megan's video, which will be up on Friday. And I'll see you next time. Bye!